protestant account, sir.
Excuse me,
Please, to freeze the account of NSAS protestants, sir. Just one question, sir. I won't give you a receipt to freeze the account.
He came to us as news. And the Honorable Attorney General just left here, and hopefully gentlemen of the press were able to ask him questions in this regard. He's in a position to explain what's going on if he's aware. But one thing we have tried not to do as a committee is for us to comment on things that we read either in conventional newspapers or on the electronic media or the social media, because we really have to be sure that we know what's going on and we ask questions. So for me, the first two questions border on things that as a committee we're interested in checking with the executive arm of government to know what's going on. These are some of the issues before us as a committee. And it's not just the Senate Committee on Judiciary and Legal Matters. The House Committee on Justice is also working with us on this matter. And that is the whole essence of what we are doing here. They have come, they have made their presentation, and we're interested both in knowing how the money appropriated last year was spent, up to the last kobo, and for also getting the justification, for what they are proposing for 2021. Part of the reason you saw that we couldn't conclude the Attorney General, which are not going to be able to conclude today, is that there's a need for more discussion, there's a need for more engagement, there's a need for further explanation and documentation on the figures that we have before us. But it will be premature on my part to make any statement or come to any conclusion in this. All of us in this committee will have to review these issues. And again, we'll have to also interface with our colleagues in the House of Representatives who also have the same concerns that we have. And as elected representative of the people, what I'm sure of is that it doesn't matter what has been proposed, but what will be important at the end of the day is what we feel, Baradin best interest should be, approved for the ministry to continue this year. I think a lot of things had happened, and in terms of extra budgetary spending, a lot had happened in the last 1 year. Sometimes this is to be expected in a country that is prosecuting a war. Whether we like it or not, Boko Haram insurgency has become a war of some sort being prosecuted by Nigeria. And it ranges not just about Ministry of Justice, virtually in all of our armed forces. There have been a lot of extra budgetary spending because when you are prosecuting a war, you deal with situations as they arise. You are not going to wait till the end of the year or till next year to get a budgetary allocation for you to be able to do what you need to deal with as soon as yesterday. So these are some of the issues. But even in spite of this, the reason we're here and the essence of our own oversight is to ensure that whatever has been spent is accounted for, that the source is well identified, and that we're sure that it's also in line, with settled financial regulation. As we concluded inside, the only reason we allowed the Attorney General to go was that he didn't need to sit down there, what would take every other agency under the supervision of his ministry, the Nigerian Law School, the Legal Aid Council, and the other agencies. But as far as the ministry itself is concerned, they have done their presentation, and we have asked them, we're going to bring them back for more questions, and we are going to also have a joint session with our colleagues in the House of Reps.